It's time for Roske on Politics. So let's just jump right into it.
I like that. In unison. By the way, I think today we've actually, on a normal cable show, this would fill an hour.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump right into it.
We better hurry then.
Rachel, pull up the first photograph here. We're going to jump right in. This is big news, folks. This is actually big news. Poll, Sanders zooms past Clinton in New Hampshire. This is a big deal. Now, so Bernie Sanders was on my show a year ago for the first time. He's been on the show for 6 times. He's been on the show.
Wow.
First time he was here in Des Moines, we sat and chatted in the kitchen at the United Methodist Church here in Des Moines.
Right.
And I said, are you going to run for president? He goes, well, I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at it very hard. But, you know, as you know, it's hard to do this. It's expensive. You need thousands of supporters. And he was fired up. He was on the show a couple months later. I said, are you running for president? He goes, boy, you know, I don't know. I've been doing tours, talking to people all across the country. And as you know, and he goes, I said, are you going to run as a Democrat or as an independent? He goes, I don't know. You know, as an independent, you have to. So he is now, of course, running as a Democrat. Now, let's talk about some of these numbers. Now, that is the front page of USA Today. Mm-hmm. He is leading in New Hampshire. He's leading Hillary Clinton. Can I read?
By a good margin too.
How does New Hampshire usually?
New Hampshire.
How do they kind of lean? Obviously, this is Democratic race, but how do they kind of lean?
Also geographically beneficial to Sanders because he's been in Vermont. He's been their senator for he's been their representative for decades. So he is next door. New Hampshire knows him. He is polling at 44%, and Hillary Clinton at 37%. That is
more than 3%. So
significantly, outside of the. Now let's talk about his Washington Post headline. Bernie Sanders drawing biggest crowds of 2016, and it's not even close to the next person. Look at some of these numbers for his events. 28,000 people showed up in Portland to see Bernie Sanders speak. 28,000. They had to use the NBA stadium in Portland, Oregon. That's as far away from his home state as you can get. In Los Angeles, 23,000 people in Los Angeles showed up to see him speak last week. In Seattle, 15,000 people saw him speak. Now, the next of any other candidate in presidential politics this cycle, Hillary Clinton, 5,500. Hillary Clinton, big dog, big name. So Bernie Sanders out of nowhere. So I mean,
something right.
But isn't she controlling that? Isn't she only allowing so many, or is this one of those events anybody could show up?
Well, no. I don't know the answer to that. I do know that on his events, they get in a venue, and every single one, including Portland, like, we need a bigger event. Okay, get the basketball stadium. So I don't know the answer to that. Now, I was at her event here, and I will say from personal experience that it said, you are now RSVP'd. Please invite your friends, sort of thing. So it didn't sound like they were shutting down, and that was her first big event in Des Moines here. So
there you go.
I would say that is the answer to your question. If you, Iowa caucus goer, want to see Bernie Sanders, he's here this week. He is here Saturday at the State Fair. Saturday at the State Fair, folks, is the big day. Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump, and Hillary Clinton all at the State Fair.
Place?
All at the State Fair.
Wow.
Holy cow.
I've got a little bit of advanced knowledge. The Trump people, and you can actually see us talking about this Sunday. It will have happened Saturday. They were going to bring Donald Trump to the front door of the gate and have him just walk through to the back gate and just have it be a mob. But literally, Trump is getting mobbed wherever he goes. So now they're working out with security what they're going to do. But you got the big three at the State Fair this Saturday. So come if you were thinking about.
In a helicopter?
What they're talking about right now is that Donald Trump will be giving helicopter rides to the kids, but it is not approved yet, so don't say you heard it on Great Day, because that's what they're talking about. They do not have permission yet to do it, but they're talking about having the Trump helicopter be available for rides.
No way.
Outside of the fair.
That's what they're talking about. It is not confirmed yet. So
it doesn't do anything if it's not big.
I want him swinging in on a helicopter and coming into the fair.
So zip line him down.
Zip line him down.
So Bernie Sanders is also at the Wingding tomorrow, Friday night, tomorrow night. That is up in Clear Lake. So we got some videos to show here.
All right.
Yep.
But before we get to that, today, Martin O'Malley. Go to the fair today if you want to see Martin O'Malley. He is launching his 15 goals with 15 Iowa events. We're going to skip a couple of the videos. We got stuff to talk about. It's fine. Bernie Sanders, Martin O'Malley speaks today at 4 o'clock at the fair. Now, Iowa viewer, if you want to meet some candidates, go to the State Fair. They're all coming. You've probably gone through. They're all going to be there. Yep, you've gone through some of the scheduling. So today, the first one is happening. Mike Huckabee happens just after this show. So head on down there. So let's talk Trans-Pacific Partnership. We're going to jump around real quick. Some of the people like Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders agree on this, that they don't like Trans-Pacific Partnership. They said, you know, NAFTA took away jobs. We have a huge trade deficit. If you've been watching my show, you've seen a lot of discussion about this. Democrat Tulsi Gabbard is against it, learning more about it. Sanders is against it. Trump is against it. A lot of people are against it. One of the issues that keeps getting brought up is currency manipulation. Now, right now in the deal, China is not a part of it, but they're talking about adding it into them because, for instance, Tulsi Gabbard on my show said, it is NAFTA on steroids. The size of the NAFTA deal, this is a much bigger deal. Trans-Pacific Rim, Pacific Rim, they're talking about bringing China into it. 60 U.S. senators have asked to put currency manipulation as a part of Trans-Pacific Partnership. What does that mean? That means that they want in whatever is Trans-Pacific deal is made, they want it to address currency manipulation, that if you are a part of this deal, you won't manipulate your currency. So people are like, well, they don't do that. China doesn't do that. Oh ho. On Tuesday, China manipulated their currency down 1.9% on Tuesday. That is the largest single one-day drop in a decade, in 10 years.
As I say, they're having huge economic issues.
So everyone says, wow, that was just a one-day thing. Okay. The next day, they dropped it another 1.6%. That's this week. So China does it. It's affecting Trans-Pacific Partnership. Do your reading, learn about it. It's one of the reasons why, AFL-CIO says NAFTA caused 700,000 jobs to go abroad. Wow. That was NAFTA. Tulsi Gabbard says Trans-Pacific Partnership is NAFTA on steroids. So
even more.
Now let's jump back into the presidential race. Tana Gertz is the Iowa co-chair for Trump. We got time to show just a little bit of me chatting with her yesterday about the debate last week. Here's Tana Gertz.
We all thought Mr. Trump was treated completely unfairly. It was everybody else was getting these lovely little softballs, and they were just hitting him with the hard balls, and we just thought it was disrespectful. It was completely unprofessional. But we are a strong team, just like him. We're tough. We picked up our bootstraps and we're moving forward, and we're like, what? Megan who? That was like a week ago, wasn't it?
The Megyn Kelly line of questioning is Donald Trump sexist, is basically what she was saying. What are your thoughts?
Oh my gosh, Mr. Trump is the furthest thing from being a sexist I have ever met. He loves women. He's good to women. He's changed my life as a business person, as a businesswoman. He will do anything for a woman that's working hard, trying to put food on the table. He is the furthest thing from a sexist. That's complete nonsense.
So you're with the Trump campaign. A couple days ago, there was a little bit of Roger Stone, not a part of the campaign, part of the campaign. What happened?
I'm going to tell you what, I never heard of him. I'm on the campaign. I never heard of him.
Interesting. And see more of that now. Sunday's show, you're going to see somebody who's not normally on camera with the Trump campaign. This is a big deal. Chuck Laudner ran Rick Santorum's campaign when he won the caucus last time. A lot of the show is him. He is running Iowa for Trump. He almost never goes on camera. It's a big deal to get him on the show. I'm very excited. So tune in Sunday. You'll see Dr. Ben Carson, new stuff with him. Governor Bobby Jindal up in Waterloo. You'll see Tana Gertz, more of her. Chuck Laudner, who I just mentioned, and my buddy Paul Singer at USA Today. We're all talking about 2016 race. It's this Sunday. Tune in, Roske on Politics.
There you go. How many times has Jindal mentioned Donald Trump in his conversation?
Well, he said, well, you want to talk about Trump? I said, no, we cover enough of that. So he and I talk about other stuff.
Good.
We talk about Iran.
Nice,
we talk about a bunch of stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excellent.
There you go.
All right, 9:52. We'll be right back. This is Great Then.